damn, it's always the same message. It's always the same message. The message always stays the same because it's always the same game. That's what I've been saying lately. There's only two paths. There's a path of avoidance, or you have the path of accountability. So think about it this way. It's like spectrum. Everything's a fucking continuum. If you haven't noticed, I'm always talking about duality. There's a spectrum. There's a continuum. There's ends of that continuum. There's ends of that spectrum. Avoidance will lead you into fucking misery. The more you avoid, the more that you will become stuck. Because that's the whole thing, right? The obstacles that come up in your life are supposed to teach you massive, drastic lessons. And every time you hurdle those, you keep moving along the path. You just keep hurdling things. That's why I'm always quoting Obstacle is the Way by Marcus Aurelius. Massive, right? You look at the hurdles as good things instead of bad things. When you look at them as bad things, you're doing what's called avoidance. You're going, oh, there's an obstacle in the way. I don't like that. It doesn't make me feel good. I'm going to fucking ignore that. And what happens is you completely stop and impede your growth, right? So you have to figure out the opposite route, which is the route of accountability. I'm always talking about control. The way you take accountability into the approach is you look at the obstacle and you only focus on the part that concerns you, the part that you can control. You also hear me talking about the serenity prayer all the fucking time. Control the things you can. Accept the things you can't. Try to have enough fucking wisdom to know the difference, right? That's a Marcus Aurelius thing. AA stole that from Aurelius from way back in the day. He wrote that in 170 AD. Just understand what that means. When you take the accountability of your part, you harness all your power back, and jumping that hurdle becomes easier because you stop wasting time talking about the actual hurdle. You guys will sit there and go like, the hurdle is this, and it's because of this, and the why, and the ba-da-ba-da-ba, instead of just going, what are the parts that I can control about this hurdle? Okay, let me let the rest go, and let me just fucking work on the things that I actually can change, and hurdle over this obstacle and move the fuck on. Now, when I say acceptance, right, a lot of you guys think acceptance is like, oh, just accept that that's just how. No, accept the things you cannot change. That's why the serenity prayer fucking rips. Accept the parts you cannot change. Change the fucking parts that you can. Now, the hardest part of that is you guys will constantly keep trying to fucking change the parts that you can't. Most of the time, when the control issues come up, it's that we're trying to control other fucking people. That's where it comes up the most. We go, well, maybe what I can control is how I can manipulate this person into getting them to fucking respond the way that I want. That's where it all gets fucked up. That's not your part. What you can change is only your part. Only your actions, your reactions. Don't be reactionary, be fucking proactive. Don't be reactive, right? So you have avoidance, which is fucking ego. It's an extremely weak ego to where you can't hear anything. That's why you hear me quote this fucking Rick Rigsby quote. Ego is the anesthesia for the pain of stupidity. Instead of wanting to analyze the part that was your fault, your fuck-ups, your shortcomings, you would rather just do this and go, no. So it's the anesthesia for the pain of stupidity that you'll feel about admitting your weakness and admitting your fuck-up. The other path I'm talking about, accountability, responsibility, and action-based to fucking get over the obstacle, cope with the reality of the situation by fixing the things that you can and shifting all your focus instead of shifting your focus on all the stuff that you can't. When you shift your focus on the stuff that you can't control, what do? You disempower yourself. You give power away to the external locus of control. When you take 100% accountability and shift that accountability only onto the part that you can control, which is your fucking action and reaction to that stimulus and a plan to get over it and cope, you bring all that power back inside of yourself and you become strong. You become more powerful by pulling power and responsibility into yourself. Now, when you guys hear that in the beginning, you're thinking like, wow, it sounds really hard. And it is. That's why everything I talk about is habit-based. I'm not saying that you should just do that immediately. You have to fucking reinforce these gems, these wisdoms, these fucking paradigm shifts that you need to have with your mentality. And then you need to work on those daily. When I say physical, mental, spiritual, what the fuck do you think I'm talking about? Physical is diet, movement, relaxation, sleep. That's Ranjan Chatterjee shit. You'll hear me talk about that a lot. Those are the 4 pillars of health. Those are the easiest ones for you to focus on immediately. Just try to control those. When I'm talking about mental health, I'm not talking about mental disorders. I'm not talking about this fucking boogeyman culture in the fucking psychology world that you got going on. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about shifting your mindset and being open to the idea that a paradigm shift will change your entire fucking outlook on life. That's as easy as it is. Let me break it down for you. When I was avoidant, I would use alcohol to self-medicate, right? So it wasn't just that drinking was a problem. It wasn't like I was just a debaucherous asshole. What happened was I started to realize that alcohol as a depressant, but as a numbing fucking agent, was a very good thing for me to use in the wrong fucking way. What I mean by that was anything came up that I didn't really want to look at, it would make me feel uncomfortable. That's what you guys are fucking calling anxiety. You go, oh shit, I'm having an emotion. Yeah, you're having an emotional response to fucking an incongruency with where you're supposed to be, what you're being called to do. That means you made a mistake. That means you've walked off your path. The emotion is an internal monitoring system to get you to fucking pay attention so that you can course correct and fucking internally engineer yourself back onto the path that you want to be on. That's all that is. And you guys will stray away from it. That's avoidance. That's pain avoidance. Pain avoided is pain multiplied. You'll just deal with it fucking later anyways. It will keep coming up and it will get worse and worse and worse. So when I was using alcohol to avoid the things in my life that were coming up, that were internal monitoring systems, that were GPS, they're fucking low, check engine lights, going, hey dipshit, you're not doing good and you fucking know it. What I would do is I would lean back into drinking, because drinking would give me a short-term reprieve from the emotion that I didn't want to feel, that was actually a lesson of what I needed to fix my attention towards. Does that make sense? That's what I mean by avoidance. When you're self-medicating and you're using that as your coping mechanism, what you're doing is you're using avoidance as your coping mechanism instead of fucking processing and actual coping with fucking the tools of acceptance, behavioral change, commitment, discipline, accountability, responsibility, making a fucking plan of action. Toughness, mental fucking toughness. This sucks, but I will get through this. I got this. I'm fucking strong. I can handle anything. That's the mental fucking frame I'm talking about. You guys all demonizing mental toughness, thinking that it's all toxic masculinity, which is fucking a nonsense term any fucking ways. I guess that exists in a small, tiny percentage of the world. That would be if you're avoiding the problem again by acting like toughness is avoidance. Listen to what I'm fucking saying. I'm saying toughness is accountability. It takes a tough motherfucker to be accountable and admit their fucking failures. That's real shit. Avoidance, going, I'm so tough I don't even have to think about it. That's right back to what I just talked about. That's weak ass bitch shit. That's avoidant behavior. So just understand, something I need you guys to fucking hear and really start fixing with your mental process is think about when you're avoiding things. When I say listen to your conscience, and you guys are all like, what does he mean by listen to your conscience? It's the things that you're avoiding. Your conscience will tell you, hey, will you think about this thing? And the way you'll know is because of the emotional response. You guys are all seeing that as a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's the only thing that will tell you you need to fucking pay attention, right? So what you need to do is know that when those certain emotions come up, anxiety, procrastination, this tendency to like stray away from the thing, not think about it, that is avoidance. That is the thing you need to tackle fucking immediately. You should shift all your focus there. And what you need to start understanding is that it will be okay. The thing you're avoiding, it's not as big a deal as you're making it up in your head. It's not that big. It's just fucking plaguing you. It just needs you to fucking hurdle over that obstacle. And the thing I need you guys to get more than anything, avoidance will lead you into neurotic tendencies. You will get more and more neurotic. You will get more and more addicted to avoidance. And you will get stuck. You'll be a fucking 25-year-old in a 45-year-old's life. And it's fucking terrible to be there. And you all know if you're there right now, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You spent a lot of time avoiding your growth, your natural progression. So you're fucking behind. You always hear me talk about how I'm a little bit behind where I should be because of the years of avoidance. Now I'm trying to look to do this to get out of it. But just understand, on the other side of that hurdle, and this is why Aurelius was such a fucking beast, you grow. You actually experience legitimate growth. Some people call it wins. Some people call it a level up. A level up is a great way to talk about it. It's a straight up level up. You gain a superpower in two ways. You grow past the event. You learn from the event instead of fucking missing the lesson. So you actually stop doing that stuff. The more times you learn that same lesson over, it will fucking take at some point and you will start to be past that tendency. The other thing that happens is you grow because now you have faith by experience. You'll start hearing me say that a lot lately. That means a lot to me right now. Faith by experience. You hurdle that thing and you get past that obstacle instead of avoiding it. And then guess what happens? Is that feeling goes away, all those emotional responses go away, you grow and you go, oh shit, I want to do more of that. That wasn't as hard as I fucking thought. I know that I can do it now. It goes right back to what we talk about with why you're doing that on a daily basis as well. You're stacking wins daily to signify to yourself that you can win and that you can win multiple times. And then you gain confidence from that because you gain confidence, self-honesty, self-trust. Self-trust because you said, I committed to the thing and I followed through and I fucking nailed the thing. And the more times you do that during a day, you ride on a high-ass vibe. Now, on a longer-term scale, you can take that same thing like a daily basis, and you could extrapolate that out over your entire life. It's the same thing. You stack a win when you hurdle the obstacle. You gain confidence, you gain self-trust, you gain self-honesty. I know I can do this. All the things that you want to fucking perpetuate a positive mental attitude. PMA. The more hurdles obstacles that you hurdle rather, the more you're lifting that weight. It's the same thing as using like physicality as an example. That's all a rep. Same way that in meditation, coming back to the breath is a rep. You shouldn't be frustrated when your mind wanders because that's one rep when you go back into your breath work. It's one rep. You got over an obstacle. Oh yeah, there was a thought. Oh, I got off track. And then getting back on it is a rep. So stop seeing your mistakes as these fucking shameful things that you have to be embarrassed about. Those are the best fucking things in your life. The only reason you're seeing them as these terrible things is because you've been avoidant so long that you don't fucking know how to get over them. You don't know acceptance. You don't know how to face the fear head on. So just work on that. I'm telling you, think about it as duality. Are you being avoidant? When hard shit comes up in your life, do you avoid the shit out of it? Do you self-medicate with drugs and alcohol? Do you just distract yourself with a bunch of fucking nonsense? Do you turn into a scroll monster and go, I don't want to think about that? Do you talk about the event to somebody else and only talk about the parts you can't control and you take no fucking responsibility? If you're doing any of that stuff, you're being avoidant, and it will only fucking make you stop your progress, and it'll make you fucking regress if you do it long enough. You end up being a little child in a fucking adult's body. The other side is accountability, responsibility. How quickly in a situation do I say, damn, you know what? I didn't notice that, but that is my fault. I've been doing that wrong lately. I need to work on that. And then saying to yourself, it's all good. I'm going to fucking work on that. I'm going to fix this problem. See, a lot of you guys think that, oh man, that was my fault, is negative self-talk. It only is if you don't put a comma in there and say, I'm going to get way better at this next year. That's what that's what I say at the end of everything I realize. When I do my wrap up at the end of the day, oh man, I was weak on this, weak on this, weak on this. That's all good though, because I'm going to keep my eyes on those, and I'm definitely going to make those fucking better in the next coming weeks. So get back out there. You guys all fucking rock. Keep crushing it. If you're doing anything better than you were doing before, you're fucking moving. That's all beneficial. Don't think you should be way the fuck over here. Don't think, oh, it's too late. Don't think I've been fucking up for so long. It doesn't fucking matter. Start today. Move forward from this point and use that duality. Use that spectrum to try and analyze what you're doing. You'll know when you're being avoidant. You know it. It's pretty easy to see. And the accountability part, it's going to feel resistant at first. That part feels uncomfortable. Just like learning how to swing a bat or lift a weight or go run. It doesn't feel easy at first. stick to it. The more times you do it, the easier it will get and the more fluid it will be. So just understand that. You guys got this. Fucking hit me up if you need any help.